Welcome to Baffin Island. Located in Canada, it's a part of the Arctic Archipelago, a collection of over 36,000 islands north of the Canadian mainland in the Arctic Sea. Baffin is the largest of these, covering an area of over 500,000 kilometers. It's the largest island in Canada and fifth largest in the world. A large portion of it also resides within the Arctic Circle, meaning settlements in this region can experience long periods where the sun never sets or never rises, depending on the season. Pair this with it being surrounded by sea ice for much of the year, and you have one of the most remote and untouched landscapes on Earth. Baffin is a part of the relatively new territory of Nunavut, which separated from the Northwest Territories in 1999. It's also home to the capital, Iqaluit, which is home to almost 8,000 people. Iqaluit is actually much closer to mainland Quebec, around 300 kilometers over the Hudson Strait to the south. It's even closer to the capital of Greenland, which is around 800 kilometers away. Mainland Nunavut and the second largest settlement, Rankin Inlet, is about 1,200 kilometers away. The physical geography of Baffin Island is spectacular and often record-setting as well. The popular ones are mountains and fjords, and we'll talk about those in a second, but one of my favorite examples of this is Nettling Lake. It's a freshwater lake located toward the south end of Baffin Island. It's frozen most of the year, but it's the world's largest lake that's on an island. With an area of over 5,000 kilometers squared, it's dwarfed by some of the other lakes in Canada, which are famously the largest in the world. But for geography nerds like me, this fact makes it just as special as some of the more famous spots on the island, which we'll take a look at now. All it takes is some zooming in on Google Earth to see how many fjords cover the coast of the island, mostly along the northeast side. Sam Ford Fjord and Eglinton Fjord are some of the more well-known ones. They are Inuit-owned land and a traditional hunting ground for the people living in the area that encompasses the Clyde River and hundreds of kilometers northwest of inland. The fjords are known for their active glaciers that creep along the landscape and awe-inspiring peaks that rise abruptly from the shores to heights of up to 1,500 meters above sea level. The Baffin Mountains run along the northwestern coast of the island and are part of the Arctic Cordillera, which is a chain of mountain ranges extending from Ellesmere Island to northern Labrador and Quebec. Inside of this mountain range, you will find this national park, which is home to some very famous mountains, including Mount Odin, Mount Thor, and Mount Asgard. Odin is the highest of these and the highest peak on the island at approximately 2,143 meters, although this is disputed. Mount Thor is known for its sheer wall face, which is Earth's greatest vertical drop at 1,250 meters. Mount Asgard stands out for its unique shape, having two almost identical flat-topped towers separated by a dip in the mountain. All of these are hidden gems for adventurers who flock here for the challenging climbs and breathtaking views. People will come to camp in this national park for days or weeks to see the incredible mountain range and northern lights along their journey within the Arctic Circle. The Inuit people now currently inhabit much of Nunavut, northern Quebec, and Labrador as they have for the past 1,000 years, and both their culture and identity has remained strong over the centuries. Despite European colonialism, which sought to claim and rename the region, the Inuit have proven to be strong-willed and dedicated to a culture which predates the country they currently inhabit. This is evident by the Inuit retaking their original name for the city, Iqaluit, renaming it from the European name, which was Frobisher Bay, after the bay that the city resides in. So, since humans have lived in such a desolate place for thousands of years, there must be some resilient plant and animal life on the island as well, right? Most of the life is towards the southern part of the island, obviously, as the majority of the northern part is above the Arctic Circle. For land animals, you could see polar bears, Arctic wolves, foxes, and hares. It's a summer destination to migratory and nesting birds, and there's even a large migratory bird sanctuary on the southwestern coast of the island. Marine visitors and residents include seals, walruses, beluga, and bowhead whales, which actually, side note, have the largest mouth of any animal on Earth. And of course, there are many species of crustaceans and fish that are surrounding the island. So Baffin is home to some of the most spectacular landscapes in the world. Ancient glaciers, fjords, mythical mountains. It's easy to see why adventurers and thrill seekers from around the world flock to this island. Thank you so much for watching my first video of Odd Earth, the channel where we show off places on Earth that'll leave you in awe. I plan on making short documentary style videos like this in the future, so please subscribe so you won't miss an upload. Leave a comment of what country you're from and where you'd like to see me cover next. Have an amazing day, and make sure to keep exploring.